Our third question is one that lots of people ask, and I do think it is a reasonable question. Now, we Christians believe that the universe has been created by the Almighty Eternal God. We believe that it is His creation and that He has made the rules by which the universe operates. He has set out how we, as His creatures, should behave. Now, right at the beginning of the Bible, this is all summarised whenever we read these words. And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. Now, to many people, there is a problem with that. We can all see all around us that everything is not very good. So here's the question. If God is so good, why is the world so bad? Now, this is such a big issue to many people that to them it is proof positive that there cannot be a God. Notwithstanding the order that there is in creation, the design that is obvious in creation, and the rational faculty that we have as sentient creatures, which all point to God, this evidence of God is all dismissed because of the problem of evil in the world. Now, I want you to imagine that you're visiting an art gallery which is full of wonderful paintings by the old masters of centuries ago. Paintings which are tremendous works of skill and beauty. Now, as you enter one of the galleries, there's a commotion, and you arrive just minutes after someone has thrown orange paint onto the most valuable creation in that museum. What was a masterpiece now has splatters of orange paint right across it. The painting is actually now ruined. Now, I want you to imagine the reaction that people would have if you were to make a comment like this. Well now, the artist mustn't have been as good a painter as we thought. Now, such a conclusion is ridiculous, for it is obvious that the goodness of the artist is not in question, but the badness of the vandal who caused the damage. The painting now bears the evidence of the artist's handiwork and the vandal's handiwork as well. And it's just the same with the world in which we live. On the one hand, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth His handiwork, as we read in Psalm 19 verse 1. The evidence of God's handiwork is around us. But on the other hand, we read about people. In heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth, as we read in Psalm 58 verse 2. That is the evidence of man's handiwork is in the world as well. There's not just God's goodness in this universe, but there is also man's sinfulness. You see, we do not live in the perfect world that God created. We live in a world that has been marred by human sin. Let us not forget that the cause of all that is bad in this world can be traced back to our first parents. The Bible tells us that by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, Romans chapter 5 verse 12. And we also read that it was by one man's disobedience many, that is all of us, were made sinners, Romans chapter 5 verse 19. That sin had dreadful effects on Adam and Eve personally. But it also had dreadful effects on the human race globally that has descended from them. And even it has had effects on the world around them, the world in which we live. The earth became subject to the bondage of corruption, Romans chapter 8, verse 21. And that is evidenced in the disease and the death and disasters that happen to this day. But why was the world made in such a way that this could happen? Now, I'm not sure that we can answer that question perfectly, but at least we'll think a little bit about it in the next question in the next video.